I literally just found a toggle in ChatGPT which is transforming the way I work and the analysis that I am able to do. And today I just wanted to show you exactly what that toggle is in case you haven't used it yet and just walk you through the process. So I've logged into my account as we can see here. Bear in mind I do believe this is a GPT-4 plus feature, so you will need a paid account in order to do this, which is around $20 per month at the time of recording as far as I am aware. What you need to do is you need to first navigate to your kind of profile in the bottom left hand corner of the ChatGPT interface, and then what you want to do is click on Settings and Better. From here you want to click on, I should say beta features, and at this stage you want to make sure that the advanced data analysis toggle is turned on. Now this is the toggle that I was referring to at the start of the video. So if we just quickly read this, try a version of ChatGPT that knows how to write and execute Python code and can work with file uploads, and that's the key which I'm going to be showing you here today. Try asking for help with data analysis, image conversions, or editing a code file. Note, files will not persist beyond a single session. So that's obviously really good for data protection as well, though you should use this at your own will, and you obviously need to consider your organization's policies in regards to using ChatGPT and other AI tools. So we've got this toggle enabled now. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if you noticed actually, when I toggled that, this plus button became available, and that is exactly what we are going to be leveraging. Before we do that, I just want to quickly show you a little tool that may help. It's just as an additional tip. So ahead of this video, I created a data analysis file, which is a load of dummy data. So imagine this as an employee inventory. That's what I've just created purely just to get a lot of data. I think it's around 100 rows. That's correct. It's 100 rows of data. It's all dummy data. And I just wanted to give the tool enough data to kind of work from. And that's just a little tip. If you wanted to test this out, I think I searched for project dummy data into Google, and it took me to a website called Muckaroo, and then you can play around with these fields here, so you can add additional ones. These are ones that I pulled in. Basically what you can do here, this changes the name of the column, and then if you select type, you can choose from around 170 different fields. So I just chose those that I thought were applicable, and I've got this dummy data file. What I then did is I pressed File, Save As, and you do need to save it as let me just show you quickly, a CSV UTF-8, delimited. Now I believe you can save it as other file types, but this one won't require any conversion. It'll just save you a little step there. So just a little quick tip. Make sure it's saved somewhere you know on your hard drive, and you can easily find it and locate it. Then if we head back into ChatGPT, we are now ready to start the analysis. So what you want to basically do, and I'm going to be providing you with incredibly simple prompt to begin with, just to show you kind of basically ChatGPT can give you additional insights into what to do. So I'm going to say something like, and if I can spell correctly, analyze, American spelling, sorry, as you can probably tell from my accent, I am based in the UK. It's a British accent, so our spelling is slightly different. Analyze the data. I'm literally going to leave it as that, purely because I've tested this earlier, purely because we are going to get some suggestions, and those suggestions are what are going to completely transform how we use this data analysis. So I selected the file, I pressed the plus button, and I selected the file. In fact, I've just thought about something which I haven't showed you so far. Right at the start of the video, sorry if there's a little bit jumping around, when I click Settings and Better, or Beta, I've got it wrong again, when you select the Advanced Data Analysis toggle, you will then need to go into the GPT-4 model and ensure that the Advanced Data Analysis option is selected. Okay, so if you don't have that selected, you might not see the plus button. Okay, I'm not sure if that toggles on by default, but that's just something you might need to do. And if you're running through this video in real time to do the same, you may notice you need to do that. Okay, so they're the steps. Enable the advanced data analysis, ensure it's selected, have your file ready in a CSV file, and then press the plus button and then select it. Okay, that's where we're at this point. Now we simply press this button here. Now, what it's going to say, to analyze the data from the CSV file we've uploaded, I'll start by loading it into a data frame to understand its structured content and see what kind of analysis we can perform. And this is where it is really, really useful because ChatGPT can suggest to us what it wants us to do. Let's begin by examining the first few rows of your data. And this is where the true value is, because you may have some ideas as to what you want to analyze and some of the key things you want to bring out from your data. But if you don't, this can give you suggestions. So the dataset contains the following columns. It's pretty much summarized exactly what we've got in there. To proceed with the analysis, this is what I like. Could you please let me know what specific analysis or insights you're interested in? For example, we could calculate the number of employees in each country or city, determine the distribution of employees across different departments, analyze the data by department and location. Let me know how you would like to proceed, or if there are any other specific questions you have about the data. Here's a good one. Suggest some data analysis not already suggested. I've used the word suggested twice there, really. I'll put provided. To be honest, I don't think ChatGPT would have had any qualms about that, but let's just use a different word for kind of grammar purposes. Certainly, based on the structured data set, here are several analyses we could perform. Departmental analysis. That's kind of what we've already discussed. Geographic analysis, email domain analysis. Now, bear in mind, if we revert back to the data analysis file, this isn't particularly complex. We've only got 100 rows. You may be working with files that have, dozens and dozens of columns, and that's where the true value of this is going to be found. But look, it's still going. It's still providing with a lot of different ideas. Name analysis, analyze the most common first names and last names. Correlation analysis, determine if there are any interesting correlations between the categorical variables, such as if certain departments are more prevalent in certain countries or cities. This is really, really cool. So this is where it gets really useful. So check for any missing or inconsistent data. That's a great use case for this as well. If you've got lots and lots of data in your files, you may not be able to check that manually, and this can help you do it really, really quickly. Verify the uniqueness of email addresses, ensure there are no duplicates that might indicate data entry errors. So this data integrity check is absolutely superb, and it's something that goes beyond just using Excel. So some of this maybe could be done in Excel, maybe you could use pivot tables or graphs, charts, but this is the kind of stuff where it takes it to the next level. So let's just have a look at, I'm going to use one as an example. Let's go with the correlation analysis, because I think that's really interesting. Proceed with correlation analysis. Again, I'm going to let this run, see what happens, and see what we can do from there. So let's plug that in. To perform a correlation analysis on this categorical data set, we can use techniques such as chi-square tests to examine the relationship between two categorical variables like country, base, and department. Kramer's V statistics, which is a measure of association between two nominal variables, such as, interesting. Okay, so it's just working, and it's explaining what's going on here. I mean, this is all new to me. Maybe this is something we could then research. Have any questions about this? You could then ask ChatGPT, what are chi-square tests? What are Kramer's V statistics? So what ChatGPT can really, really do is expand your knowledge and point you in the right direction. And this is where it's giving me a lot of value. So it's finished working. Let's see what happens when you click show work. Oh, lovely. Load of code. Okay, so I don't know what that is, right? Okay, it's just working on something, okay? But let's just say, I'm going to stop this, okay? Because I don't know what it's going to come out with, but I want to, in the interest of time in this video, I want it to kind of provide some analysis just to show you how this can really, truly work. So provide correlational analysis on, I did a copy, a control C, control V there. Provide correlation analysis on country based and department. Provide in various formats. I'm not actually quite sure what can be done here, whether it's graphs, those kind of things. So if I put in various formats, we'll see what it can kind of do. Okay, there you go. So this is going to go away with the chi-square test. I've probably gone for the most advanced one, let's be honest. I could have just gone for something really, really simple. I could have gone for some geographical analysis of counts, I'll do this in a minute. I just want to see what happens now. I'm just interested. Chi-square test. That's interesting. It's not something I've got much experience with. I'm going to be honest with you. But maybe it's something I can investigate going forward. Still working. Finish working. Here we go. We've got some kind of statistic. Okay, this means nothing to me. I'm sure it does if you're aware of these methodologies. Here we go. This might be nice. For the visualization part, we can create a heat map to visually represent the frequency distribution of departments across countries. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So this doesn't mean much to me. It may to you, but this is what we're kind of looking at. So this is the kind of stuff where you could kind of roll this up to your senior stakeholders. I've run some analysis of our workforce. It probably wouldn't be doing that as a project manager, more of a HR role, I would have thought. But if this was on, say, a project data set, you could say something like, I've run some analysis on, wow, that's interesting. That's absolutely fantastic. If this was on projects, you could say something like, you could look at the KPI, where are our projects most behind schedule, or where are our projects most over budget? And it will have this kind of correlation analysis. And if you imagine if this is by they had the project and this had the budget, and you send that to senior stakeholders, you're going to really highlight some errors, or some areas that need to be focused in, and you can really kind of impress your stakeholders by doing this kind of thing. You can bring this into presentations and that kind of thing. So this is really, really good. Different format. Provide a different format. Let's just see what happens. And it also gives an explanation. So the heat map above visualizes the normalized distribution of departments across countries. Each cell represents the proportion of department within a particular country, with darker shades indicating a high proportion. So if we just look at this, it looks like Germany, Indonesia, Bangladesh So the sales department is mainly in Bangladesh. There's also a training department there. So if you just quickly look at this, you can quickly see that where certain departments are and their locational, where they're positioned, where they're based. So example, Madagascar, there is an accounting team, as an example, from the data set that I provided. So here we've got a clustered bar chart. So yeah, this is amazing. This is really, really, obviously it depends all on your data file and what you are told to do. But this is just showing you what it can do. And that's what I'd like you to take from this video. Use these examples, use these ideas, and just experiment with ChatGPT, because you'll be surprised at what it can produce, especially with, this kind of functionality. Let's just quickly, before I finish, provide me with some geographical analysis of. So you see where it said suggest some data analysis. This is how you would kind of give a future prompt to kind of do what it suggests. Provide me with some geographical analysis of, and then you could put something like, you could put it in quotation marks, you could put kind of a colon, semicolon type thing here, and then hit this button. Let's see what it does. This will be, quite interesting. There we go. Let's go for the bar chart. Oh, it's going to do both. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So imagine if we did this from the outset. So this video is probably getting a bit longer than I intended, but imagine if we did this from the outset. This could be incredibly quick, perhaps even quicker than if you were to do it in Excel. But at the same time, wow. Okay, because we chose city, we've got so many different cities, this is just blurred. But, if you've only got 5 or 6 cities, this would look fantastic. You could copy and paste this into whatever you want. And it even says, it even gives you insights into why this looks ridiculous and why it's basically unusable. But yeah, this video's kind of run its course. I hope that everything I've shown so far in this video has been useful. If it was, or if you have any questions, hit the like button, ask the questions down below in the comments section. In the description, there will be a link to get my kind of ChatGPT prompts that I'm using in ChatGPT at the moment. If you did want that, and if you're still here, then check that out maybe. Otherwise, I've got a playlist on using ChatGPT and other AI tools in project management if you want to make the most out of it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And with all that said, I hope you have an excellent day.